market update. Not a whole lot going on. We just continue to hear stronger and stronger rumors out of Singapore primarily about the demand for gold, while demand is very slow in the United States. And we've talked to wholesalers in this industry and friends in this industry, and seems like the volume this year is about a third off, and that certainly is the case in our business, about a third off from what it was last year. And yet in Singapore, we see things out with 80% increases in volume. Purchases are larger. They're hard to get. We're now seeing with the mining problems released this week in China that continue to have like the third year in a row that the biggest country in the world for mining gold is China, and it continues to go down, having less and less gold. If you try to compare it to how much money is being created in the world, as we talked about a couple of weeks ago, when the world debt hit $65 trillion with a T, trillion, the United States has over 20 of it. Almost a third of the world's debt is with the United States. So we just continue to see a big import of gold into Russia and China. We've already seen the banks open where China opened a bank in Moscow and the Moscow Central Bank opened an office in Beijing. We see everything being set up for what we read, a gold-backed yuan, especially for trade and fulfillment of oil and the payment of oil, and where a country, say Saudi Arabia, could take gold or the yuan that's backed by gold. So these would be very detrimental, and yet Americans act like nothing's going on. It's not anything to look at, anything to worry about. When it does happen and the dollar drops and equities drop and bond market gets tilted and hit very hard, it takes that billions of dollars to be lost before an American knows what to do. The other thing I wanted, a pet peeve, after being in the financial planning industry since 1974, it's an industry that didn't even start until the early 71 or 72, and the first International Association of Financial Planning meeting was in Atlanta, and I was privileged to be there back in 74. Asset allocation. To me, you always look at who defines it. And to me, it's defined in the Bible, and that is the authority. Where in Ecclesiastes 11:2, God says to take your wealth and divide it 7 or 8 ways, because no man knows what disaster will come upon the land. Now you get all these money managers, everything is about stocks, bonds, and cash. And it's almost laughable to think people this smart are not even dividing their wealth into different categories. You should be looking at foreign currency, real estate investment trust, precious metals, industrial metals, stocks, bonds, and dividing it 6, 7, 8 ways as we're told to do in the Bible. So it is concerning to talk to these people, and certainly I work with a number of top financial planners that do put part of their clients' money. But if you're a client out there and you're not properly diversified, you are going to get hit, and you're going to get hit hard. It may be a year, maybe a year and a half, maybe next week. I can't tell you. But having everything in fiat currency, money by decree, has never been a smart idea and never will be a smart idea. So what we want to say to you today is do your homework. It's like we've had 2 hurricanes in St. Simons in 2 years. You plan for those hurricanes now when you're out of hurricane season. You plan for moves in the economy, crashes in markets. You diversify now while the prices are low and reasonable. And gold is above the 1262 that we think is the bottom, and it's at 1275 approximately. So it has very little downside risk. That's when you should be buying your gold, not when gold's going through 2,000, 2,200, and not the too distant future, in my opinion. So once again, if you need to talk to us and talk about asset allocation, what percentages to put into precious metals, give us a call at 800-247-2812. And as I try to mention every week, we have the best storage program in the world. Call us about very low storage rates, and we're in 5 different places in the world, soon to be 6, and we'll probably get into that next week. And the update is we have a new one opening that I think will be right up your alley. It's another American one, and it's going to be fantastic. So hopefully, and once again, if you want to have an IRA rolled over into a self-directed precious metals IRA, we can help you with that. Once again, give us a call at 800-247-2812, and we'll be happy to talk to you. For this week's Precious Metals Market Update, this is Tom Cloud signing out.